The 80% Rule. How Taoist non-action eliminates stress and multiplies your results. Stop the hustle. Burnout is a lie sold by forcing everything. Learn Wu Wei, the Zen secret to effortless productivity. Watch now to achieve more by doing less. Part 1. The Trap of Total Output, the Hook and the Problem. Welcome to Echoes of Life. Let's talk about the modern obsession, the hustle trap. We live in a culture that relentlessly glorifies busyness, demanding constant effort, total output, and perpetual motion. We wear exhaustion as a badge of honor, believing that the more hours we log, the more frantic we feel, the closer we are to success. The unspoken motto is, if you're not burning out, you're not trying hard enough. But look at the reality this culture creates. Widespread burnout, chronic anxiety, and the sense that we are perpetually running, yet always staying in the same place. This constant forcing of action leads to shallow work, scattered, low-quality output that consumes vast amounts of personal energy. We rely on sheer willpower, pushing against internal resistance, external obstacles, and even our own body's natural rhythms. This fight, this relentless pushing, is the source of your exhaustion. The ancient Chinese philosophy of Taoism, birthed by the wisdom of Lao Tzu, offers a radical, liberating alternative. Wu Wei, Han Dong Vo Vi. Wu Wei translates roughly to action without forcing, or effortless action. It is the secret to performing your most important work with the calm, quiet efficiency of nature itself. It teaches that the greatest power lies not in aggressive force, but in perfect alignment with the natural flow of life. This is not a call to laziness, it is a blueprint for effortless productivity. Today, we will expose the fallacy of the hustle trap. We will introduce you to the principles of non-resistance and the action pause loop, and show you how to reduce your personal effort while simultaneously increasing your results. It's time to stop pushing the river and start flowing with it. Part 2. Wu Wei versus Force, the Taoist Flow. To understand Wu Wei, we must first visualize its opposite, forceful action. Imagine trying to push a piece of string. It resists, it bunches up, it creates friction, and it requires tremendous energy to move it even a small distance. Most of our modern working life is spent trying to push string. We fight deadlines, we argue with reality, and we resist the difficult parts of our tasks. This internal friction is the hidden cost of the hustle trap. Wu Wei is the antithesis. Think of the Taoist flow, symbolized by water. Water never forces its way, it flows. It finds the path of least resistance. When water encounters a boulder, it does not stop to argue or try to smash through, it simply flows around, maintains its direction, and achieves its goal, reaching the sea with absolute efficiency. The key insight of Wu Wei is to stop relying on sheer willpower and start utilizing the momentum of the system. The surfer does not force the wave, they align themselves perfectly with its power, using its energy to propel them forward. The martial arts master does not rely on brute strength, they use the opponent's momentum against them. Wu Wei is the internal alignment that allows you to act from a state of flow, where your mind is fully engaged, but your body and spirit are relaxed and calm. The energy you conserve by abandoning the fight, the internal friction of resistance and procrastination, is the energy you gain for focused, high-quality work. By learning to yield to reality, you gain the ultimate power to move through it effortlessly. Part 3. Zen Secret 1. The Principle of Non-Resistance. The most significant source of burnout is not the work itself, but your internal resistance to what is. We spend vast amounts of psychic energy fighting the current reality. I don't want to do this task. This situation shouldn't be happening. I shouldn't be feeling this way. This mental friction is the opposite of Wu Wei. Zen Secret 1 is the principle of non-resistance, the conscious act of dropping the fight with the present moment. This begins with acknowledging reality without judgment. The soft start technique. When facing a daunting or difficult task, the project you are procrastinating on, your mind instinctively raises its defenses, resistance. Instead of trying to use willpower to push past this wall, try the soft start. 1. Acknowledge the resistance. Pause and say, I notice intense resistance to this task. I accept this feeling is here. Non-resistance begins with acknowledgement. 2. Commit to the softest step. Do not commit to finishing the task. Commit only to the first, easiest 5 minutes of the process. Tell yourself, I will only open the file and read the first paragraph. I will only put on my running shoes. 3. No forcing. Begin the action with the lightest touch possible, ensuring zero internal pressure. This technique tricks the mind. By not forcing the whole action, you bypass the initial wall of resistance. The momentum of the small, soft start often naturally carries you into the task, and the flow takes over. This is the application of Wu Wei. You use the smallest, gentlest effort to align yourself with the natural current of action, rather than using maximum force to push yourself against your own mental friction. By reducing internal resistance, you conserve energy for high-quality output. Part 4. Zen Secret 2. The Action Pause Loop. Hustle culture is fueled by yang energy, pure output. Perpetual motion. Doing. It completely ignores its counterpart. Yin energy, stillness, receptivity, rest. This is why it always leads to burnout. You cannot have light without darkness, or growth without rest. Zen Secret 2 is the action pause loop, the intentional cycling between periods of intense, yang, action, and restorative, yin, non-doing. This is Wu Wei applied to your schedule. The focused sprint and the stillness break. 1. Yang sprint, deep work. Commit to a period of maximum, focused effort, perhaps 45 to 60 minutes. Where all distractions are eliminated, similar to samadhi. This is your high-quality yang output. 2. Yin pause, the non-doing. When the timer ends, immediately engage in non-doing for 10 to 15 minutes. Crucially, non-doing is not scrolling social media or checking email. Those are just other forms of output. Non-doing is true yin. Sitting in silence, walking slowly, staring out the window, or performing 5 deep breaths. The greatest misconception is viewing rest as a reward for work. The warrior mindset views rest as a critical component of the process. The quality of your yang output is determined by the quality of your yin replenishment. The stillness of the pause recharges your capacity for focus, making the next action sprint more effortless and less prone to internal friction. By integrating the action pause loop, you align your working life with the sustainable, natural rhythm of the universe. Part 5. The Beginner's Mind in Action, Letting Go of the Expert. The ego trap loves to define you as an expert. The expert mind is rigid, heavy, and full of fixed opinions. I already know this. This is the only way to do it. I must be right. This rigidity is the opposite of the fluid adaptability required for Wu Wei. The Taoist master carries the spirit of the beginner's mind, Shoshin in Zen. The beginner's mind is open, flexible, curious, and light. It is willing to see everything with fresh eyes, unburdened by the weight of past experience. Letting go of the expert mind. 1. The heaviness of experience. When approaching a task, notice the feeling of heaviness, the sigh, the resistance, the feeling of, this is too much. This heaviness is the weight of your expert ego refusing to be wrong or admitting it needs to learn something new. 2. Ask the beginner's question. When you feel stuck in a rigid thought pattern or resistance, stop and ask, if I had never done this job before and didn't know the rules, how would I start? This question bypasses your ego's need to look competent and reconnects you with the intuitive, creative flow of a beginner. 3. Embrace the lightness. The beginner doesn't carry the pressure of outcome, they carry the joy of exploration. By consciously choosing the beginner's mind, you remove the burden of perfection and allow the curiosity of Wu Wei to guide your action. Wu Wei is the ultimate expression of the beginner's mind in action. You are not forced by the rigidity of past knowledge, you are guided by the lightness of present curiosity. Part 6. The 80% Rule of Completion. Perfectionism as Resistance. One of the most powerful internal forces that creates friction and blocks Wu Wei is perfectionism. Perfectionism is the ultimate form of forcing. It requires you to struggle against reality to achieve an impossible, rigid ideal. It demands 100% effort for the final, minor details. The Taoist masters understand that the universe itself operates with acceptable imperfection. The stone is not perfectly round. The branch is not perfectly straight. Yet they are complete. The 80% Rule of Completion. 1. The cost of the final 20%. The Taoist insight shows that the final 20% of a task, the pursuit of perfection, consumes 80% of your remaining energy. This energy drain is what leads to burnout and prevents you from moving on to the next meaningful task. 2. The good enough. Surrender. Wu Wei teaches you to aim for completion over perfection. Aim to finish the task to the 80% level, the point where it is high quality, functional, and good enough for its purpose. Then, consciously and radically, surrender the need to control the final, tiny details. 3. Maximize total output. By accepting 80% completion for task A, you conserve the energy necessary to complete 80% of task B, C, and D. You shift your focus from maximizing the quality of one thing to maximizing the total output and impact of many things. Perfectionism is merely the ego trap disguised as discipline. It is the fear of judgment. The 80% rule is the practical application of Wu Wei that frees you from this fear, transforming you from a paralyzed perfectionist into an effortlessly productive person of completion and momentum. Part 7. The Stillness within the movement. When you successfully apply Wu Wei to your work, the result is the experience of flow state, the ultimate expression of stillness within the movement. In the flow state, your mind is fully focused, samadhi, but your body feels light, relaxed, and devoid of the friction and tension that characterize forced action. You are performing your most difficult work with a quiet sense of effortlessness. The body scan technique for internal friction. The warrior or craftsman trained in Wu Wei must constantly monitor for internal friction. 1. Check for tension. Even when focused, pause internally and ask, where in my body is the resistance manifesting right now? Check your jaw, your shoulders, your stomach. 2. Release and breathe. If you find tension, tight jaw, hunched shoulders, consciously release the physical tension with a deep, slow breath, without stopping the work. This is the moment you choose alignment over force. 3. The lighter touch. Actively try to perform the task with a lighter touch. If you are typing, type gently. If you are thinking, let the thoughts flow without grasping them. The great masters teach that true power comes not from being wound up, but from being perfectly relaxed and centered. This stillness within the movement allows you to enjoy the process, eliminates stress, and ensures that your action is sustainable. You stop viewing work as a painful struggle and start experiencing it as a form of dynamic meditation. Part 8. Final Echoes. Your first act of undoing. Conclusion in CTA. We have journeyed through the radical simplicity of Wu Wei, realizing that the relentless push of hustle culture is the very thing draining your energy and quality of life. You now understand that the art of undoing is the secret to effortless productivity. You have the tools to begin transforming your approach, the soft start to overcome resistance, the action pause loop to honor natural energy rhythms, and the 80% rule to defeat paralyzing perfectionism. The lesson is clear. True power comes from gentleness, alignment, and flow. The greatest action you can take today is to choose ease over force. Embrace this final challenge. Think of the one difficult task you have been avoiding. Do not commit to finishing it. Commit only to applying the soft start for the next 5 minutes. Start with the easiest step possible, and let the gentle momentum of Wu Wei carry you forward. That single choice is your first powerful act of undoing. Thank you for beginning your journey with Echoes of Life. If the promise of effortless productivity and freedom from burnout resonated with your spirit, subscribe to our channel and join our community dedicated to applying ancient Taoist and Zen secrets to achieve flow and mastery in modern life. Like this video to help the algorithm share this essential secret for ending burnout with others caught in the hustle trap. And finally, share this video with someone who needs to hear that they are allowed to stop fighting the river. Until our next lesson on mastering your inner world, may your spirit be light and your actions be effortless.